So I just wanted to say that while I do believe that there are some men that will wait, most men will not. And that's just the fact. I have been that person who has waited 90 days. I've waited however many days because of my mom reading the Steve Harvey book and whatever. And, you know, my mom and my sister giving me advice. And I have learned that it really does not work. Although it does with some men. I think certain men with specific types of morals who are looking for a specific type of woman, they are willing to wait.
What kind of men are you talking about?
A man who sees women as a prize, or a man who has a lot of options for women, who might choose this woman to be the one that he courts, and then these women to be the women that he.
Okay, I want to be saying has morals. You said morals.
Well, yes, because some men for a specific kind of woman will wait.
Okay, but I like to get down granular. Morals. How do you determine a man's morals based upon? Are you talking about men who are Christians?
No, not at all.
Okay, so what are we talking about? A man's morals.
A man who sees a woman as someone.
Because morals are just right and wrong, and that has nothing to do with seeing a woman. So what you're talking about is you're almost talking about a man who pedestalizes a woman, puts on a pedestal.
But also a man who sees the cherry as the prize.
Okay, but where's the cherry?
The cherry is, the same.
Where is it located?
In the panties.
No, ma'am. Where is the cherry located on a dessert?
Oh, at the top. At the top.
Thank you. It's at the top of the pedestal.
Oh, okay.
So that's where it is. A man who pedestalizes women, puts them up. But let me ask, what culture of competitive, successful men put women ahead of men?
I don't know that any do.
Because that's a formula for disaster.
Yes.
Putting women at the top is the sure way to crumble a society. So the moral thing to do, if you want a society to continue, is to put who on top?
The man.
Right. So why play games with the thing that needs to be on top?
Listen, at first, you wanted someone to come on and say why they think you're crazy and they don't agree with you. But the more I sit here and the more I'm obviously listening and thinking about my own experiences, it's not a good idea to play those types of games. And that's why I told my mom, I'm a human being. And, granted, I wait a long time, many, many months, years to engage in that type of activity. But that's because I don't date for a long time.
Okay. So how old are you?
38. I'm well past the danger zone.
So do you plan on, have you been married?
No, engaged twice, but never married. No.
You know what I say? Sisters are the queens of being engaged, man. Being engaged, if we could count engagements as marriages, I wonder if he's like, okay, so you've been engaged. Do you ever want to have children?
Biological children?
Well, yeah.
Only if I marry someone and he wants to have.
So what I got to ask the question.
I'll adopt, but yes.
What I asked the question, and I'm trying to put this in a delicate way as possible, but at 38 years old, why should anybody wait years to have sex with you?
Oh, no.
Or months.
No. Oh, okay.
Because you're talking about everybody else, and what I thought I heard you say was, but for me, I wait a long time.
No, in between people, like I.
Oh, okay.
Yes, no, me, I wait a very long time. Like I'm not going to.
I waited a very long time for what? To have sex?
Yeah. Yes.
So when you meet a man, you wait a long time.
Depending on the man, but no, that's not what I'm exactly saying. What I'm saying.
That's what you keep saying, though. That's what we keep hearing. Slow down. Breathe. If you meet, how long have you typically waited from the time you met a man to the time you guys are first intimate?
The shortest, probably, honestly, I don't know, a week or two. The longest, no more than about 3 months. Okay.
And at this, and So that's a vast range, and that's what frustrates men. There is no logical sense to a man that you could say one man has to wait up to 90 days and one guy doesn't even have to wait a week. Men on the marketplace look at that as, I'm going to buy a car, and one dealership is offering it for $100 and another dealership is offering it for $100,000. Men are price sensitive, and we are cost benefit calculators. So in your own example, you've just validated why men are so frustrated with women on the marketplace, because you can talk and have these things and Steve Harvey and this and that, my mother, but in your own day-to-day life, 90 days to a week. But at the end of the day, no matter what your calculus is, whatever kind of interaction you want to have with a man, do you currently have it?
Right now?
Yes.
Oh.
Are you in the process of getting it within the next 6 months?
Doubtful.
Then what you're doing isn't working, and you're almost 40.
Yeah.
So you talk to your mother and where's your father?
Oh, my dad, they're still married. He's
okay, but what I'm understanding is you're an attractive woman, but why no man?
The simple answer is, there's two simple answers, and I'm sure every woman and many men say the same thing: pickiness. The second simple answer is because a lot of the men that I actually really am interested in, like for real, it's not reciprocated. To the point where, like, we'll date and everything will be fine, and then all of a sudden they're gone, or I'm gone.
Okay. No. Let's talk about the ones where you just told two different things. The kind of men you say you're really interested in, it's not reciprocated.
Yes.
It not reciprocated means it's not coming back for them. So you just told a story where they leave and you leave. That's confusing.
Well, or I leave, because I have done the same thing.
So it's not reciprocated from you.
Yes, because of something very specific that might happen that makes me become unattracted to the person. Very,
why is getting with the man so complex? This is like calculus 3.
And it shouldn't be.
No, it shouldn't.
There is a person that I was dating that seems to be coming back around, but I don't really know if that's the case. I don't know.
Why were you engaged? You engaged twice?
I was engaged twice, yes.
Somebody dropped to a knee, presented a ring in public, and asked you for your hand in marriage.
Yes, almost 3 times, but twice.
And who broke off the engagement the first time?
I did.
Who broke off the engagement the second time?
I did.
Why did you accept the ring the first time?
Because he was my best friend,
And that didn't stop after he gave you the ring.
Oh, no, it didn't stop. But
so why'd you break it off? If it was good enough to accept the ring, why was it not good enough to go through with the marriage?
The reason is because he and I were not compatible.
But you accepted the ring.
That is correct.
So you weren't sexually compatible.
That is correct.
How would you know if you see? Here's the problem here's the problem with sex before marriage. You wouldn't know that if you're a virgin, there's no sexual compatibility. See, you're a different kind of perfect example. 38-year-old woman who should 70, 80 years ago, you'd have been married a long time ago, but it has become so complex. You're accepting engagement from people you're not sexually compatible with. This doesn't work, that doesn't work. I'm too picky, and so forth. You know where that ends up being, this man? That's what that ends up in. Buy a dog, die alone. That's what this ends up in. Because at 40 years old, almost 40 years old, you become more difficult, not less. Have you had therapy yet?
No.
I think it would be wise.
Why? To find a man?
Excuse me? To find a man?
Yes. That's why I need therapy, to find a man?
No, you need therapy, period.
Well, there's a...
Why is that? Okay, let's stop right there. Seriously, ma'am. Why is therapy insulting to so many black women? Like, you're a woman. Why is that insulting to you?
No, I'm not insulted at all. I wanted to be a therapist. I was just asking, are you saying I need therapy to find a man?
Well, you need something. You need something. How about that? You need something because what you're doing ain't working.
That's fair.
And what I'm listening to, ma'am, is a woman who's been engaged to my best friend, such and so forth. You know all these things. And you got a man to the point to waste his time, money, and resource to the point to where he was involved with you enough to where he bought a ring, you accepted, and you broke it. See, if we started judging you women like you judge men and put you on the don't date them girl site, your face will be posted out, plastered all over it. Don't deal with it. Listen, ma'am. Listen, you broke off 2 engagements, one from a best friend, and you say because the dick wasn't good. I'm sorry. That's a trash ass reason. And why'd you break off the second one? Bad dick again?
No. I don't want to hurt. I don't want to see that. Well, honestly, because he was, I could not learn anything from him. I'll say that. I was unable to learn from him. He did not challenge me intellectually, and that was a major problem for me. We became engaged too quickly. He told me he proposed to me because he thought I was about to leave him, which was kind of true. So I made a mistake. I just made a mistake. And we were only engaged for 2 months. I made a mistake.
How long were you guys together?
We were only together for 6 months, but we worked together before. So we'd known each other for a year.
And how old were you when this happened?
24 or 5? I don't remember. It was a long time ago. I hadn't been engaged for a while. The third almost engaged.
Hold up. So what was the first time you were engaged?
I was in college, but he was my high school sweetheart. But I must.
So hold on.
I'm 20.
So you were engaged to a high school / college sweetheart, but you and not him together because you guys weren't physically compatible. Trash ass reason, but okay. Then a guy you knew for a year, but he didn't challenge you intellectually. What did he do for a living?
I'm in education.
No, what did he do for a living?
Oh, what did he do? The second one, we worked for a.
So you're both teachers?
No. I'm not a teacher, but we worked for a residential treatment facility for kids.
Okay. And you're in education. What do you do now?
I am in administration.
What did I tell you guys? Black women are married to the system. That's your husband. Put him in place. Put him in charge of whatever I said last broadcast. That's what they are. Because you're getting rid of men because of sexual incompatibility. And a lot of women say, well, that's an important part. Okay. Then the last man, you were both doing a similar job. So he was a stable man though, financially. As stable as you, at least.
It was a stable. Well, there wasn't a lot of money in that job.
I didn't say. I said as stable as you, at least.
That's correct. You're right.
Because if you were in it, he was in it, and you were stable, right?
Yes, I was.
So because he wasn't. What you're showing, ma'am, is the standard a black woman has for a black man to be married. You damn near have to be a god. Go back and, man, we just had a conversation. You said you couldn't learn anything from it.
That's just a nice.
What'd your mother learn from your father?
Oh, well, a lot. My dad's. I can't honestly tell you specifics, but how to be a wife, and a best friend, and I just know my dad is very, very smart. He's a provider. You got
any siblings?
I have 2 sisters.
Are they married?
One is married and one is engaged. And this is her, 3rd engagement. It's not.
I don't find this. I think it's kind of sad that so many of our sisters are so damn complex and difficult to wed, and difficult to keep. In the black community, the divorce rate is approaching towards 60%, and 80% of divorces are filed by women. So you're already the least married. You're the most difficult to get married. And I'm going to say, I'm gonna make a proclamation. You've heard the black women are the most educated, and that's that. What it really means is you're most enrolled. So I'm going to say you're the least married, but I'm going to also say you're the most engaged. You're the most engaged. I don't meet another group of women who've been engaged 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Right? It is not uncommon to meet a black woman who's 40 years old and been engaged at least a couple times. It's very common. And I'm talking about full out engagement. Man drops. That's not cool. Because at the end of the day, you're not getting the outcome you want. Because your life is supposed to mean something. And at 38 years old, what's your life going to mean if you go through it by yourself until the grave?
I have a plan for when I become 40, around 44, 45, to adopt 2 children, older children. That is.
Oh, so you're going to be a single parent.
Yes, probably.
So you're going to purposely go in to do the one thing that you know gives children statistically the worst outcome.
My dog is snoring. I'm sorry.
How many kids you got?
I don't have children.
But so your dog is snoring.
Yeah, I can hear her. I don't know if you.
Okay, well that makes sense. See, her husband is the building. You think your godfather's crazy? Do you have a PhD?
No, a master's.
Master's, okay.
I'm a PhD.
Ma'am, you're an attractive woman. You got beautiful eyes, but come on, ma'am. You gotta know that your non-black female counterparts are not this difficult.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with you. And both of them. Oh, let me not say. Well,
Both of your sisters?
no, I was gonna say both of my line sisters are married.
A Delta?
No, I'm not a Delta.
Okay, AKA?
No.
Sigma Gamma Rho?
Yes. Why? Why ask me that?
Because you said your line sister's name before.
I know. Yes, I'm a Sigma.
So my point is, ma'am, that when you were a little girl, I don't think you likely thought I'll be a dog mom adopting 2 kids at 45, and that'll be the testament of my life.
No,
Why is that good enough now? Why is that what you're willing to settle for? So let me say something to you. Let me move you to the side. Ladies, why are you always talk about what man you ain't willing to settle for? I ain't gonna settle. Why are you willing to settle for death by yourself? Ladies, why are you willing to settle for dying alone? Why? You're the only group of women on the planet who is willing to be strong, independent. I don't need no man because I ain't gonna settle, but you'll settle for dying alone. Write it down, trademark it.
Can I say one thing?
Sure, go ahead. We're back to you now.
Oh,
Go ahead. That was an aside. Go ahead.
People who have, I'm just being honest, I'm not making this up. People who have dated me, or my friends and my friends who are in relationships, and they're always like, you are so cool. And the guys that I date, you are so cool. You make me laugh. You're this, you're that, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, after they date me, they go to an ex or somebody else, and then it's like they get married to that person.
Yeah, because nobody wants to marry the cool chick. They want to marry a wife.
What makes me not a wife?
Well, first off, you're extremely picky. So you probably rank rather low in agreeableness.
I am very agreeable.
Okay.
And I know a man's role in a relationship.
Okay.
I do believe.
If I ask the guys, have you ever interviewed your exes?
Interviewed them?
Yes.
I've asked because I'm cool with my exes.
Okay. What is it like to be with you then?
I'm cool. Fun. It's fun. Pretty much. I keep
So a guy that so if I interviewed your first ex-fiance, he would tell me being with you is what?
My first ex-fiance, he would say being with me was amazing, and
right until you dumped him.
he would still say that.
Okay, and then the second guy would say being with you is what?
Fun. And
okay, then the guy you made wait 90 days. How long were you guys together?
There's been more than one, but the last one, probably no more than a year.
You were with a guy for a year.
Plus.
Okay, and why did you leave that relationship?
It was kind of a waste.
Okay, a waste meaning what? A waste meaning what? A waste meaning what? Your purpose in life is to. This is gonna be tough, ma'am. But at 38 years old, you're doing something in the youth facility or youth what?
My job?
Yeah, your yes.
I'm in education right now.
Okay, you're in education. So it's not like you're solving the Riemann hypothesis. Why does a man need to be all these great and wonderful things other than a man?
Because I'm all these great and wonderful things.
Bullshit.
I am.
No, you're not. You're a normal, average, everyday woman. See, that's the problem. So many women pedestalize it. No, man. Where'd you go to college?
HBCU, Lemoyne on college.
Okay, what makes you great and wonderful and in the top 1% of all women?
I am not in the top percent of.
So that means you're great and wonderful and all these things. What in your life makes you say that you're that?
I do believe I'm a great person.
It doesn't mean you're not. You can be a good person, but when I say it's so great and wonderful and everything else, go back to that cherry on top, and that's how you think of yourself, and that's why it's difficult for women like yourself to be with a man, because you always need to be above a man, and the men who are above you won't deal with you. Because we don't have time for that kind of shit. Honestly, we don't.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
Well, the thing is, man, and see, this is the kind of arrogance and entitlement this is what men think of it. The full of yourselfness that so many, all the ladies, independent. I mean, that stuff in our culture has the women thinking they're better than the men, smarter than the men, above the men. But you're the most unmarried, most engaged, most enrolled, and ain't nobody marrying black women. Nobody. Brad, Leah, Meg, Keith, and Enrique, they were like, how can you even deal with this? Because at the end of the day, are you a Christian? I don't know if you are or not. I didn't ask.
I'm Christian.
Huh?
Yes, I'm Christian.
Okay, then if you're a Christian, a woman's purpose on the planet is a man. Your job is to be a helpmeet. Go forth, be fruitful, and multiply. That's the commandment. See, we're the most Christian, un-Christian people. If black women actually acted like the Christians they say they are, a lot of this stuff would self-correct, because a lot of stuff you're talking about has no humility in it. You couldn't say I'm great and wonderful and all this if you really, truly had an accurate estimation of your Christian self.
Oh.
But we don't say that. We don't say it in the pulpit because the pastor got to keep the tithes and offerings coming. Men have been shouted down in the community so much, or even, I mean, you said you've had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity after opportunity with men. You've had an embarrassment of opportunities in relationships, and no man is good enough?
I just would rather be alone than miserable with someone, because some of my friends or whatever who are in relationships, I see the ugly side of it.
I'd rather die alone than settle. You can't make this shit up.
I hear you. I hear exactly what you're saying.
And here's the thing, sister. Ain't nobody gonna stop you. There's a whole industry that benefits off of black women being single and alone, because you may be a perfectly cool person to work with. You haven't been argumentative. You have not been loud, cursing. I don't think that's in you. But the sad part is your outcome is going to end up being the same thing as a ratchet, loud mouth, difficult to get along with. The end result is the same thing. Dog, alone, deaf. At best, you got to go adopt somebody else's children, because you could not come into cooperation with a man in your own natural life.
There's still time. I still have time.
For biological children?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you have time. You have time, man. But let's go back 20 minutes ago. You don't have anybody in the pipeline, in the process. No man of value is actively vetting you to be his wife. So, ma'am, you may have time on the calendar, but you don't have time with a man of value. Be honest with yourself. Stop saying you have time if you don't actually have somebody trying to engage you now.
There is someone that has recently come back into the picture.
Does he want children?
No, he has children.
Exactly. But Godfather can't make this shit up, because people don't go for 30. They don't typically go for difficult to deal with 38-year-olds to have babies.
He doesn't think I'm difficult to deal with.
Okay.
I'm truly not difficult. In a relationship, I am the...
However you want. Okay, ma'am. You're easy to deal with, but okay.
In a relationship.
Okay.
Maybe not elsewhere.
But still. Being a stepmother or an adopted mother, what you want? Or do you want to see your own DNA? Do you want to see your daughter looking back at you with your eyes? Don't give me the college answer. Give me the truth.
No, the truth is what I said earlier. If I marry a man who wants to have a child with me, that's fine. This person...
I asked you, what do you want?
...has mentioned children.
I asked you what you want.
I don't necessarily want biological children.
Okay. If you don't want biological children, that's fine. So why are we talking about I still have time to have biological children if you don't want
No, I still have time to meet someone. I won't necessarily die alone, because I still have time to meet.
Man, why was talking about kids when I'm talking about you running out of time?
Oh, all right.
Okay, yeah, you still have time to meet somebody. Yes, you do. Certainly. However, you also got to get realistic. What kind of relationship do you want with a man post 40 years old? Do you expect to work until 65 plus?
I probably will.
Well, if you don't get married, you definitely will. Unless you're independently wealthy already, you're going to have to work at least until retirement age.
And I am not independently wealthy.
So you will have to work to 65 plus because your career path is not one of riches.
I make good money.
Good money is not one of riches.
I make that kind of money, right?
Okay, so it's middle class above, but it's not.
Right.
Okay, so that is not enough money to administer an elderly woman as your body starts to break down post 50 years old.
Yes, I hear you. I hear you.
So
Yes.
it becomes a matter of necessity. See, why I said it's so complex, because so many women like yourself want this fantasy instead of the hardcore practicality of getting with the man to build something. But no, now we get to the point where you're in no man's land, and now it's like, well, what are we going to do? Well, I got to try to see if I can find someone who's willing to partner with me and make a deal. For what? To survive. Just to survive, to get to the grave and not be alone, because there won't be any children out of it. And all due respect, you've already shown yourself to be difficult to deal with a man, because one man didn't challenge you, one man's not going anywhere. All these men that you've been involved with, everyone seemed to be deficient some way. And I will say this, and I'll get to the next thing. Relationships are reflective. That's why I said ultimately therapy is a good idea, because the only common denominator in all of your chaotic situations are you.
I know.
There's the only thing that was the denominator with me. Do you think your father had 3 daughters and wants to see them unmarried when he leaves this planet, unattached to anybody, out here floating in the universe? He knows what that means. But so many women walk through life so worried about the sex ain't good enough, or he's not challenging me, this and that. And every other group of women seem to understand the practical reason. You need a man.
That was the nice way to say why the second fiance didn't work out. I just didn't, I'm not trying to be rude.
Okay, I don't need you to be rude, but the thing is, I need women to start hearing women talk about these things so the younger women can decide what they want. Because in the Black community, marriage and relationship is not promoted. So cooperating and submitting with a man is not promoted. And the thing is, we tell women that you can be living single or girlfriends and all these fantasy wonderful things that they are shown in sitcoms. What they don't show is the 40-plus-year-old women who are miserable. Miserable. Many overweight, many childless, many with jobs, middling jobs, not careers, making above the median income, but below anything that's going to make them rich. You can go out and eat dinner every now and then, but you're not traveling to Paris or France or this or that. But in order to be with a man, he needs to be able to take you to the moon, or else I'd rather can do bad all by myself. We have so many things in our community that make women, sisters, sit back thinking, if I can't be with a man who can do all this, I'd rather be because I can do bad all by my what?
Self.
And I would rather, instead of settle. And that's what a lot of women are going to get in our community, because 1 in 4 will marry at this rate. That means 3 out of 4 will die alone. And you are fortunate because you at least have had men. You've had opportunities. And it's not like you still have opportunities. All I'm saying, ma'am, just go get a mental checkup. Don't blow the opportunities that you still currently may have. Because for a woman like yourself who's always had opportunities, it's going to be a real shock when the opportunities stop. And they do that for everybody. Appreciate it, though. That was a good call.